Okay, today for our last lesson, we've got just a quick little lesson on taxes. So, what's the difference between tax evasion and tax avoidance? Okay, those are two completely different things. Tax evasion is illegal. Okay, tax evasion is a crime. That means you're not reporting income that you had, or you're laundering money or something like that. You're avoiding the tax that you're supposed to pay by illegal methods. Tax avoidance is completely legal. Okay? You can avoid taxes in a lot of different ways. Like you can contribute money to a 401k, so you don't have to pay taxes on that money at first. They get you later. This is avoiding taxes legally. There are some investments that you can make that will give you a tax break. You could purchase something like you can purchase windows for your house that are really highly rated that will give you a energy tax credit. Okay, that's a form of tax avoidance. So there's lots of different ways you can do that, but it's all legal methods. So some individuals that failed to that did tax evasion. Okay, Al Capone. So Al Capone was a mafia don, and he was arrested. I mean, he was a bad dude. He murdered people, prostitution, drugs, all kinds of stuff, speakeasies, ran alcohol during Prohibition, all that kind of stuff. But what they got him, they couldn't get him on any of that stuff, but they did get him on tax evasion. And there's actually a line on the tax return that says, enter income from illegal sources, just for because of him. Okay, so you can look this stuff up. He's a pretty interesting character. He ended up dying in prison, I believe in Alcatraz. Wesley Snipes. Wesley Snipes failed to pay taxes, and he made a lot of money. I'll let you go through and look this stuff up on your own. Find 3 Wesley Snipes movies and his net worth. What was his total tax evasion bill? What year did he evade his taxes? So, yeah, I think he's put that behind him now. Willie Nelson, I don't know a whole lot about this situation, but you can look up some songs that he did, his net worth. What was his total tax evasion bill? And did he serve any jail time? Lindsey Vonn. Okay, Olympic skier. She got busted for tax evasion as well. So I'll let you look those things up on your own and give you some time to do that. So let's pause the video here. You go look that stuff up, and then we'll come back and look at some of the rest of the stuff afterwards. Okay, next. What does it mean to itemize deductions on your taxes? All right, so a lot of these things you can't have been cleaned up, so you can't deduct them anymore. But some of the things, itemizing deductions means finding things that are acceptable expenses with the IRS and subtracting them from your income. Okay, so here's what happens. There's a standard deduction you can take, and then there's certain allowable things that you can take tax deductions on. So what you do is you add up those those things that you can deduct, and you see, is it better for, is it a bigger number than my standard deduction? And if so, then I'm going to itemize. If not, I'm just going to take the standard deduction. So some of the things that you can deduct to lower your taxes, the number one thing usually is mortgage interest. It used to be a long time ago that any interest that you paid on any loan, you could deduct it. But now it's pretty much just mortgage interest. Okay. So other things you can deduct. Farm losses. If you've got acreage and you run a farm, you can take the losses and deduct that from your taxes. Let's see, there's business expenses. So if you're self-employed, there's lots of business expenses. Which is fair because, you know, if you make $100,000 in revenue, that doesn't mean you actually make $100,000. You have to pay your bills out of that as well. And so, you know, you deduct those costs of doing business from how much money you took in, and that's what's your income. Now, it used to be that until the last couple of years, you could deduct things like if you had to have a cell phone for work and you had to pay that bill yourself, you could deduct your cell phone bills. Now, the thing was, you had to use it for work. You weren't supposed to use it for anything else. So technically, if you had a cell phone for personal use, you had to have a separate cell phone for personal use and work use. And if you're audited, they will check stuff like that. Another big thing that you can use is mileage. Business use of mileage. You have to keep track of your miles. Okay, and you get so much per mile. Anyway, we're going to go with those 5 right there. Okay, another way to lower your tax bill is through tax credits. Now, tax credits are better than deductions because deductions just lower your income, and then you get a percentage of that. So if you're in the 20% tax bracket, and you have a deduction that's worth $100, okay, basically you're getting $20 savings off of that. But a tax credit just subtracts right off the top of what your taxes are. So you can have an earned income tax credit. Some people qualify for that. You can get a tax credit for childcare. You can get tax credits for purchasing high efficiency electronic devices like dishwasher, heat pump, appliances, that kind of stuff. You can get them on cars. Some cars you can get a tax credit for. Solar panels. You can get tax credit for solar panels on your house. Okay, so some things about hiring somebody for a tax preparer. All right, so if you have anything other than simple income, I suggest that you hire a tax preparer. Now, there's different levels of tax preparers. There are certified tax preparers. There's accountants. There's CPAs, all that kind of stuff. So it depends on what level you're going with. Most people can get by with just a certified tax preparer. And of course, the more letters you have after your name, the more money that they charge you to do your taxes. So a CPA is going to charge you more than a tax preparer is. So some things you might want to look into if you're thinking of choosing somebody to do your taxes. I'll be honest with you, most people choose somebody based on a referral. Somebody recommends somebody to do your taxes for you. But you can start looking up stuff if you like. So, what's it going to cost to go to H&R Block to get your taxes done? What's it going to cost to go to somebody on the corner that's going to do your taxes for you? What level of education do you need to be a tax preparer? Do you need to pass any exams to prepare for someone's taxes? What is the average pay for a tax preparer? You can look all this stuff up. What is the difference between being a tax preparer and an accountant? I'll tell you what, a lot more education right here. Okay, you're going to have a degree in accounting, whereas a tax preparer does not have to have a degree in accounting. Okay, you're going to finish up your packet. There's page 28. And there's page 29. And we're done. So, hope you enjoyed the class.